Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. Hope you have a wonderful day. In today's channel, I'm going to talk about how we go about doing things when it comes to our money, with the basic concept of personal finance. My wife and I have somewhat complicated account settings, so how I go about doing it so that the both of us in the same page and able to review our whole entire portfolio in one hit. So I remember when I started I guess my journey opening up an account with a bank. Back then I was still in my teenage years. It was just a typical one account that can do everything, because with that account alone I was working part-time or casual basis or so, and you only need to do one thing. Money comes in from my casual weekend job, and then money goes out to go out and spend it to whatever I want. That was happening when I was about 15, let's say, and then little things happen when you hit 18. So I got given a credit card on the mail. It's got my name. All I gotta do is just call this number, or send a couple of pieces of paper here and there. Before you know, I have a credit card that have a 20% interest. I didn't know what to do with the credit card, actually. I was like, okay, now I've got this credit card. Now what is the good thing about this credit card? Literally nothing. I was set on that credit card for a long time. I actually went overseas, back to my home country in Indonesia, and in my mind is thinking to myself, it must be cheap, everyone using this credit card, so it must be a good thing to use this credit card. Everyone was bragging and have this fancy plastic card. Then when I get back home, I had the bill, and that was pretty cool. So do whatever it takes not to use a credit card when you can, even if you got lured, let's say, to sign up for it. Now, again, fast forward now, we have, when you meet your life partner, with my wife, she's got her way of doing things, and I have my own way of doing things. Where is that? Okay, cool. So it might be a little bit different from the way I used to do things and the way that she does doing things. The simple format on how we do our expenditure and income and investing and everything else that comes in life, it's a kind of, in a sense, you try not to overcomplicate things. Okay, so for example, we only have one card that is for our family unit expenses. So that would be for grocery shopping, school activities, anything that the children need in a regular basis. That take care of all of the expenditure on the house, bills included, let's say. If rent, it goes in that card. Now, we don't use a credit card as much. We try to stay away from it because we don't want to use a late penalty payment. A debit card does the same thing. The way I see it, why would you need to borrow money if you can't afford it? You can't afford it. So a debit card would probably highly recommend it on that. And then the other aspect of it, I've got a business side, like for our property business, expenditure and income, that goes on a separate account. And then my wife deals with all the eBay transaction, let's say, that goes on a separate account. So the property business as well as the eBay business, that comes in two different accounts. And then, so our lifestyle expenditure comes to that one expenditure account. So far we've got 3. Then there's all the micro investment. Now, instead of us opening up each account to figure out which ones make money, if they're all growing, we just keep it simple in a spreadsheet. So all of our micro investing, such as Raise, Spaceship, as well as Comsec Pocket, we put it down in each spreadsheet, all of the current balance every month, without a doubt, including our super now. Before we weren't actually adding a super in the equation. But since that is your money after all, so we're adding that into the equation. Once that happened, we looked at our expenses. For example, if you're renting, water, council, strata if you're owning, mortgage repayment if you're owning, that's your expenditure as a home unit. That goes in a separate account. We want to know how much is our expenses for the month. Every month, income versus expenditure, the income has to be obviously a lot more greater than your expenditure. And then the income from the investment, let's say, that goes with micro investing, because you can't really take it out. We just look at where is our cash position in our micro investment. Is it growing or not? If it's growing, great, we're going in the right direction. If it's not, why not? If it's not working, what can we do to make it work? And that's what we do on the micro investment side, because it's a long-term gain. So all the profit that we're earning from my property transaction, as well as the eBay transaction, that goes to the micro investment. So we don't really touch any of those. The way we eat, on the other hand, it goes in our, well, I guess in our side hustle. Sometimes from the eBay business, we eat from there. Sometimes from my other contracting job here or there. So that's where we physically eat. If we need to, then we eat from the property investing. But generally speaking, we don't do that. We don't eat the profit we're making from our property side. We just roll it over to do other things. So that's what we do with our in our Excel spreadsheet. Because every month when the both of us sit down and crunch all the numbers, gather all the data, where it's money market account or like long-term deposit or something like that, if you put it down in one Excel spreadsheet, you kind of see how much is the income that you made, what is your expenditure, and then you figure out at the end of this month, did we make money or did we lose money, and do we have enough surplus income to invest somewhere else. We do that every month without a doubt. Usually twice a month. We do mid-month and end of the month. And also, we also write down in there, this is the emergency expenditure, expenditure that is beyond your control and not part of the equation of your weekly expenditure. So things such as a bed, a tooth, visiting into a dental, a bed broken down, repainting a house, something happened to the car, something that wasn't part of the equation, we put that in the high ticket purchases, because that's the emergency expenditure that you're not foreseen, that wasn't calculated on that month. Sometimes that particular expenditure can hit about $10,000 in 1 month, and that's not cool. And we look at it and make sure that obviously you have enough emergency to deal with all those expenses. So that way you kind of see as a whole, as a big lump sum, where is your money coming in? Where is your money going out? And we sat down and it's sort of like a budget meeting as a family unit, which is kind of cool, because if you don't do it regularly enough, you will know where your cash position is going to be. I like doing it at the end of the month, and it's like our report card. If you're single, you got to be truthful to yourself. Whereas if you're a couple, the both of us is accountable for with all of the expenses that we're doing. Yeah, I have to be mindful every time we go out, make sure that we don't over budget on, let's say, lunches or so, or not going out in the whole month. My wife does the same. The both of us is accountable. We can't hide each other money because, because we're in it together, let's say. In the beginning, it's a struggle to have an overview where all our cash is, but now it's a lot more easier. It's kind of exciting. Now it's like, all right, then report card mid-month, how are we going? Report card at the end of the month, how are we going? So if we're going, great. And and there hasn't been so far anyway a month where we didn't actually grow. I think the next one here, the next month will be slightly adjustable. I got a feeling of that. Because we've got a lot more expenses and not enough income, let's say. Our income is slightly lower, and it's expected. And it's not a big shocking system for us because we are accountable for certain things like this. So we don't complicate things. We try to grab all the data, write it down. Every single bills that are coming in, write it down, put it on an Excel spreadsheet. So that's how we do it. I think communication also is the key in order for you to succeed with you and your life partner. So for us, we communicate at least twice a month minimum. So yeah, it's hard in the beginning where you feel like you're a nerd because you're putting down all of these numbers in a spreadsheet. Did we grow? Or how much money did we bring in? How much money is going out? Is there any outstanding bill? Was there any big expenses? All that jazz. It was a bit nerdy in the beginning, but it's kind of exciting because you see your money grow as you go along. So anyway, that's just our 2 cents. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, guys, and I will see you all on the next video.